A lot of shit's happened today, mate.
Yeah, true, bro. Fucking Kung Po chicken. What else? Chili beef. It's been a busy one.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, definitely. Luke's not in the gang anymore, and Terry's a hang around.
Luke's not in the gang anymore.
Yep.
And Terry's a hang around.
Yep.
We're going to the bar.
Oh, and I'm shooting Junior.
I could give less of a shit about that.
Yeah, but you know what I just got the info from?
Save it for the bar. Save it for the bar. Save it for the bar.
Okay,
Trust me. Trust me. This is why Raj is coming, bro.
Right. Okay.
You'll see. How bad is it?
It's pretty bad.
Fucking hell, it's busy in here today.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking loud.
Yeah, maybe it's like, you know, medium volume, kind of. The fuck's happened, Steve?
So there was a few of us pushing earlier on with Manor clothing on. Terry was doing what you asked, started enforcing the whole no Manor clothing at the push spot.
Right.
Was going around painting on
What's
the,
he doing?
like, writing on the ground, Manor sell weed here, to make a point because there was 4 of us stood there with Manor shit, me included.
Wait, who did that?
Terry did.
Not like on a serious, like he was just doing it to show.
Yeah, it was like he was making a point out of it, like
saying I may as well do this.
Just do this. Yeah. Luke ran over and was like, "What the fuck you doing?" Start wiping up the shit. Terry was like, "Right, go, you know, get the mask off." I don't know exactly what happened, but basically Luke wasn't, you know, putting on a mask that wasn't Manor. Terry ended up beating him down, brought him to the hospital. I had to go to the hospital because I got shot. So then Terry told me on the radio, "If you're going there, then get Luke to the clothing store. I'm going back to the block." And then he said to me on the radio while I was there to get, you know, change my mask as well. So I picked up Luke, brought him to the clothing store, changed my mask. Terry was at the same clothing store with Kenny, because Kenny had also had Manor shit on.
Right.
And he had punched Kenny a bit, got him to the clothing store, get him changed. And then Luke was like, "Oh, no, I'm not fucking putting on another mask. I'll just take my Manor mask off." And I was like, "No, get another mask, because there's no point in you taking the mask off, because then your fucking face is there for pictures. It's the same difference."
Why was he so against it though?
I don't know. But I didn't get to that, because then him and Terry start bickering, start arguing, and start arguing. They start like shitting on each other. Like Terry was saying, "All you do is go around and fucking sell weed for $100 profit. You're fucking useless. You're boring." Luke was clapping back with some shit, and it escalated to a point where Terry basically threatened to shoot Luke. Luke said, "Go on, do it then." I seen Terry reposition his car, and I said, "No, let's fucking relax here." And then Luke goes, "Well, if you're gonna fucking shoot me, then fucking shoot me." So then Terry shot him.
So, bro, first of all, Terry is a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Why? Like, he's literally, he always says, "Oh, never shoot my people." All of this bollocks. But why were they going at each other so hard just over a fucking mask? Is it that hard to just go and change the mask?
I don't know. There's a lot of hatred there, it seems like.
But they've had shit popping off for a minute, bro. Like the reason why he was being such a stubborn bitch about the mask is because him and Terry. It's James and
Because it was Terry.
it's James and Matt copy and pasted, bro.
Yeah. So
If anyone else asked him to change that mask, he would have done it in a heartbeat.
well, no, that's not true though, because I brought him to the clothing store afterwards and told him to do it, and he was saying no. He was just taking his mask off.
Well, yeah, this is another example of him not listening to you, which is the exact problem he's had previous that we said.
Yeah.
If he keeps doing, he'll suffer from.
So this was before Storm. I met up with Luke at Maze Bank Arena just before Storm. He handed me both his keys to the houses and said he needs some time and he needs to think and whatever. I didn't push it. I just took the keys and said whatever. Told him I needed some time to think about it as well because there was some big decisions to make.
When you say he gave
Dre.
you his keys, what the fuck does that mean?
Exactly. Well, to me, he was hinting at leaving, but not saying it specifically, right? But basically, I pulled up to the car park, and he asked me what I thought of that, and I said, "Well, Terry's a fucking idiot for shooting you. He shouldn't have fucking shot you." And then he basically just handed me the 2 keys at that point. Didn't say anything about leaving or anything, but he gave me the keys. And in my mind, that was him kind of almost suggesting it or planting the seed in my mind that that's what he would do, right? Didn't question, didn't read into it too much. Wasn't much said at that meeting with him, other than that he needed a bit of time to think, and you know, he'd give me a decision later or some shit. I didn't get into it because I also wasn't sure in my own headspace what the fuck I was
Decision
gonna do,
on
so
what?
being in the gang, I think. I don't know. So I then had a quick chat with Dre to get his opinions on it, purely because I know how close he is with Terry. And he was very much of the opinion that Terry's a fucking idiot.
He would not have done
if
that
he'd
to
have done
Seaside, bro.
No, he said that exactly. He said that if he'd done that back in the day, he'd have been gone. Blooded out on the spot. I then after Storm had a bit of a chat with John about it for the same reason, because he's his boy as well. And he had the same opinion. He said he wouldn't have done it in Seaside. He said because the Terry we know now is not the Terry of 5 years ago. It's not the same
No,
person.
it's not. It's Terry that thinks if he smiles at someone, he's a bitch.
Yeah. So I got John's thoughts on it. And I then went down to the docks and pinged both Luke and Terry there. And I basically the opinion I had was Luke was in the wrong up until the point of Terry threatening to shoot him.
I had a mirror conversation with Terry about this before, bro, where he didn't shoot no one. It was something similar. And I said to him, it's like if you're in the he's in the right that whole time. As soon as the gun's pulled and the trigger's pulled, it completely flips the script on him. That's what makes him an idiot.
And this is what I said. I started a conversation with the both of them. And I said, look, Luke, to be completely honest, up until that point, you were in the wrong because you were ignoring authority, which was Terry being the enforcer. He was asking you to be pretty simply take off a mask and that was it. You know, it's not that fucking deep, and you were ignoring it. So at that point, you were in the wrong. And as soon as I said that, he exploded. Just exploded. Started going on and on and on, rambling, arguing, saying he's not going to sit here and get fucking gaslit and bitched and blah, 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 blah. And it was like just back and forth shit. I cut them off, told them both to shut the fuck up, which Terry shut up immediately. And Luke was just constantly on and on saying, no, you're not cutting me off. You're going to let me talk. And I said, you just cut me off to say this. So shut the fucking mouth and stop being a hypocrite. And it was just back and forth shit. And it got to a point where I never even got to get to Terry's punishment, because I was going there saying, you were wrong, Luke, up till this point. But ultimately, Terry was in the position to punish you. And his decision was to shoot you. You have already been punished. You were shot. What more can be fucking done to you? Terry, on the other hand, my plan was to take his position of enforcer, demote him to hang around, and he owes the gang 20k cash. Didn't even get to that point, because Luke started going on, and they were arguing back and forth, calling each other boring cunts. Luke saying all Terry does is rob people and drive around and fucking... Then when he gets bored of that, because he can find nobody he's robbed, he comes back and just fucking pisses off Luke. Terry saying to Luke that all he does is he's just boring and dead and sells fucking weed, and that's all he fucking does. It's just like just bickering, fucking constant bullshit bickering. And I cut them off again. Luke started rambling and basically threatened to walk away. Terry was like, well, just fucking leave then. Just fucking leave the gang then. And Luke basically just said fine, and he walked away.
So he
at that
left.
Point, I didn't stop Luke at that point because it was pointless because the two of them were just bickering like fucking children. So then I spoke to Terry on his ones.
Maverick fame to prime. Ooh, this is spicy.
He questioned why he had to pay the gang 20k and not Luke, and I said because you're not paying it for compensation, you're paying it for punishment. He was still a bit adamant on it should be going to Luke. I said no, it's going to the gang, and he said okay, fair enough. And that was that. Matt then called me as we were leaving there, saying that he was letting Luke into the farmhouse to get his stuff. So I drove to the farmhouse to try and have a chat with Luke, because me and you had the conversation about putting it out to people that, you know, if the words leave your mouth that you want to leave the gang or you're going to leave the gang, you better fucking mean it because you're gone, right? But we hadn't had the chance to have that meeting yet. So I was going to forum to have a civil conversation with Luke to give him the opportunity to take those words back, because it hadn't been communicated to everybody. Yeah,
it needs to be communicated to everyone before you can like.
Exactly.
That's the right thing to have done. But I take it he didn't want to hear none of it. Yeah.
Didn't get to it. He said he wanted to hear my side of things. I told him the punishment I gave to Terry. He started going on about how it's not good enough and that we've heard this shit before, that if people shoot us or, you know, harm us with weapons, that they're gone for the gang. Because I had said to him, I've given him these punishments and I'm going to have a meeting with everybody as soon as possible and lay it on the fucking table that if anyone harms anyone inside of the gang again with a weapon, whether it be a fucking knife, wrench, or a gun, you are gone from this gang, no ifs, ands, or buts. And he starts saying, I've heard all this before with SK when I got or when Kylie got stabbed or he got stabbed. I can't remember that bullshit, whatever it was. And he started going on, and I didn't even get to the point of me offering him to, you know, take the words back and just fucking go on about things. He started rambling on. Matt tried to calm him down a bit, and he walked out of the house.
He's his biggest enemy. He always has been. Like,
yeah.
He don't like. He won't even like. If you've got something to say to him that's a positive resolution, he won't let you get to that point.
Nope.
He just spirals heavy. But it was like that since day one. You remember the car we have, the conversation we have in that car by Maze Bank Arena, right? That how it's like, you know, how gang mentality has to be, and even back then it was just like, yeah, I don't see a massive change in mentality from then to now.
No.
But like, it's a sticky one for him, because he would, like, in my eyes, right, if there had been no resolution met, he wouldn't have got a punishment, right? Like, he would have just got you're a fucking idiot for like just making such a big deal out of this, and you're a contributor to why it led to what it led to. But ultimately, as soon as he pulled the trigger, the fault switched.
Yeah.
So Luke wouldn't have even really been in that bleak of a situation.
No, he wasn't. The whole reason I brought Luke there, because I spoke to John about it, and he said I should probably bring them both there so that Luke sees Terry getting told off and get the punishments he's getting, so he feels a bit better about it. But Luke just spiraled. He didn't even let me get to that point, because I didn't want to leave the whole fact that Luke didn't respect the authority alone, because it's not the first time it's happened either. So I wanted to address it briefly so he was aware that there was still an issue. But there was no punishments going to be coming from it or anything, because he's already fucking been shot for it.
That is partly on us for not putting that meeting sooner, but it's been difficult because we've had these fucking constant conflicts and shit. The thing is, that Luke situation, it's like, if he's fully done the whole walk thing, it's funny you say that. He's literally texting me as we're talking. He's just texting me now saying, if you want to chat about out tonight, I can try and make it soon because I'm tired, but don't want to be on some cliffhanger type beat. Thing is, like, yeah, that's partly on us for not communicating that people can't just throw around the wanting to leave thing.
Yeah.
But equally, he doesn't half make his life more difficult.
Yeah.
If he would have just chilled out, it would have been calm. The thing with Terry, like, bro's an idiot. An actual idiot. If you shoot someone, if you pull a gun on someone in your group, you are trying to kill him.
Yep.
Terry tried to kill Luke.
I was tempted to kick him. I'll be honest, but to be completely honest with you, I'm learning every day in this position. I wasn't confident in myself enough to make a decision like that. I'll be honest. So I did as much as I could without shooting him or kicking him.
The harsh reality is, in my eyes, in our current circumstance, I would say that's the right call, because you can't forget we're in war right now.
Yeah.
And like, as much as it's a bit backwards, he is valuable in that sense, you know, like for what we are currently in the thick of. Had it just been complete peace and there's no shit going on, then like I think a full kick would have run. But right, like I kind of hear you.
I'm just sick of it, Sparky. I'll be honest. Like, even Luke saying, "Oh, he's not going to give a shit about being made a hang around." I'm sick to death of these fucking people in this gang not respecting the fact that they have the honor of putting on a manner mask. Putting him as hang around means he has to take that fucking mask off, and I'm sick of it. Luke threatening to walk away the way he's threatening to walk away. I swear to fuck, I'm sick of people just tossing it around so fucking freely. Like, people like Eli back in the day, bro. Like, he would say it many a time. You would have to take that mandem chain from his fucking cold corpse.
Bro, we were built on that. No one in the, I mean, maybe not no one. Most of us were on that. That's why I shot T, because I was that in it.
Yep. We don't put this much blood, sweat, and tears into building this fucking gang from the ground up, quite literally, to have people just thrown around the fact that they want to walk away so fucking easily. If those words come from your fucking mouth, then fuck off out of my face.
The only reason I'm not as heavy on it as you are is because of the T shit, bro. Because I was too heavy on it back in the day. Like, if you walk away from this, in my eyes, like that you basically left me for dead. That's how it was for me back then. But like,
I wouldn't say I'm on like you've left me for dead, but it's for me it's a case of if you utter those words to walk away, then walk the fuck away. Like, don't expect us to be like, oh no, wait, come back, please. Just fuck off. You know
yeah,
what
I mean, I used to want to harm people when they did that. That would be like that. They would be dead. Like, that was it. But now I'm trying to be a bit more different on it because of that. But yeah, I mean, we need to. That needs to be something that's addressed. Like, obviously we can't today, but I guess tomorrow I can put that out from early. Like, because that precedent needs to be set. People can't be throwing around, they want to leave, this, that. And then it means from that point, anyone who does that is just a clear punishment that's already been set beforehand.
Yeah.
As for Terry, it's I don't know why he's done that. Like, I knew Terry's a hothead, and I knew Terry's can do dumb shit, yeah. But I didn't. That's disappointed me. I actually didn't expect that from him
today in front of me was crazy. Just like Luke would say shit like I don't know, stuff like, you know, I don't want to be you or some shit because of the back and forth. And Terry was like, yeah, you'll never be me, you know, you're a fucking bitch, I'm not, you know.
I mean, I'll be honest, bro. Terry has got an ego problem at the moment.
Massively.
Like, he is, the way he conducts himself is that everyone's living in Terry's world. He'll rob anyone, he'll do anything he wants, he'll start problems, like all of this shit. He feels like hot shit right now. But he needs to wind his neck in. He's a valuable asset, yeah, and he's a good gang member. But he's also not. Like, the more that time goes on, the less controlled he is, and the more he's just spiraling, and it will only fuck himself over.
Yeah.
I think if John could look at him and say that he's like, he's not, he's, you know, he's different.
Yeah.
Then it's clear to see. And I think it's one of those as well, like John, because I spoke to John about it before. I don't even think it's a case of that, like, Terry was controlled more in Seaside. I think he's just fully hit a pivot. I think he's just on his fuck everyone stuff.
Yeah.
But it's also insecurity, bro. The guy is so terrified of being seen as weak. Or like called a bitch or not getting the last laugh. Like that literally controls him. I think a conversation needs to be had with him. Like on a more personal level of like you need to stay like you can be on what you're on to an extent, but you gotta keep control of it.
I don't know if he can.
He can, he's done it before.
John said today, back in the day, he never, like, he didn't do what he does these days. Like, he never went around trying to rob people. He never fucking, like, I don't know if he can do a little bit of what he does now. I literally had a phone call with him earlier saying, like, you know, once we're done dealing with this war, I think DLD needs to take, you know, take a back burner for a couple of weeks so we can actually get our head down and do what we need to do. And he was like, yeah, I agree. And then not even 5 minutes later, he's on the radio saying he's getting shot at the money spot because he tried to rob money orders. And I had to pull up and shoot cops to get him out.
He's like a squirrel. He'll say one thing and get distracted.
So we robbed a gun and 21k off XBSK today because of it.
Fair enough. I mean, are they on a clapback? I doubt it, right?
Apparently not, over the phone at least.
It's just one of those, bro. Terry runs risk of doing things that makes us bite off more than we can chew. And also just burning bridges. You don't want to go from, oh yeah, Mana Terry, yeah, that's that guy that's, you know, that funny guy who's just on fuck shit. Like, yeah, that guy's cool. You can very quickly go from being a peanut to being an OTT.
Yeah.
Like he'll fuck himself over and his reputation will just plummet if he doesn't like keep it in check. So what was he? How did he take that? Because normally when he gets punished, he kind of takes it on the chin.
Apart from questioning why it was 20k to the gang and not to Luke, he took it on the chin.
How much does he listen to John?
I don't know.
Thing is, like, as peak as this whole situation is like, it was to be expected at some point. Like, as a new group, we're gonna go through hella growing pains, and there's gonna be bleak times and there's gonna be good times. Like, we've been doing well. People are gonna come and go, but I want Terry to be around for the long run. But I don't know if I want this exact Terry we've got now to be around for the long run.
I don't think it's sustainable, I'll be honest.
No, we're gonna become hated. We will literally become hated by most people. But I do think he can chill. I just don't think there's been a conversation. I don't think he's had me and you sit him down and actually say, look, bro, you need to chill the fuck out. I think it's definitely worth a try.
Yeah.
I think you made the right call though on the hang around thing. Like, the politics of two people being no longer in the group in the middle of a war is not ideal. Terry's still around now?
I think so.
What's it been left at with him on your end?
Nothing really. I gave him the punishment, told him he was a hang around, and he won't be enforcer again, and that was it. I haven't seen him since.
He just needs to. He just needs to know he's proved his point. I feel like. You think talking to him, you'd be down to have a conversation with him?
Yeah, you can call him up.
Luke is a like as fucked as it is. Yeah, he's the one who's done the worst thing. But in my head, Luke is a more complex situation to deal with than Terry. But it shouldn't be that way. Because Terry's the one that's done the madness.
It's just frustrating, bro, because it shouldn't have gotten to what it's gotten to with Luke. But like, he just spiraled, and both times I tried to speak to him.
Yeah, it's hard for me to visualize a resolution to that right now. Unless he truly comes and sits down and just listens, but I just don't know if he's got that in him. What did everyone else think of the? I mean, I can try.
It's just if he said he's not around for a crazy amount, we might want to start with Luke. No one else really knows about it except Matt and John.
Thing is with Luke, I don't want to pull him here and have a conversation with him and make it seem like it's a situation of us trying to get him to stay. Obviously, I want him in the group, right? But if he's on his I'm gonna walk shit, I don't want to bring him here and then plead a case.
Yeah.
I'd rather he realizes he wants to be here.
What, you think leave it for a day then and see?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if today I want to talk to him. I know what he's like. I know if he gets rattled, that'll be him for the day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let him know I must talk to him tomorrow though.